Hey, it's Muriel from Costa Rica, and in my today's video, I will talk about where to live in Costa Rica. And my intention with this video is to help you to get ideas on to figure out where you want to live. And basically, I just wanted to share a short story about how we found out where we wanted to live. So as you might know, Dirk, my husband, and our two growing up children, Sam and Nick, who are in the age of 9 and almost 15, we moved to Costa Rica. And of course, that didn't happen overnight, right? So we had exactly the same question. Where to live in Costa Rica? What's the right place for us? You know, how do we figure out, like that flag on the globe in Costa Rica, you know, where can we plant our flag? So let me share a little bit about how it happened for us. And let me take you back to 2017. We came here on the holidays just with our family, and Dirk's mom was there. And by the way, this is really Costa Rica. Well, my neighbor is fixing his water tank, which was leaking, which is like terrible because water is like gold, especially in the drier parts of Costa Rica. That's where we live. So he's fixing the water tank. That's the sound that you hear in the background, raw from Costa Rica. But so we fell basically in love while we were on holidays in Costa Rica. We were not planning to move here, but finally we did, as you might know, right? So what happened? The first location in Costa Rica where we stranded was in Dominical. At the seaside, between the jungle and the sea. Really beautiful. It was in the month of May. It was super hot, and it was also a little bit of rainy season already. And I remember that one of the first things that I already discovered is that Costa Rica was so laid back. I like the people, like the ticos, the local people. And what I liked about that part of Costa Rica is that it had sea and it had jungle. And my dream was always to show my children the jungle and, you know, monkeys living in the trees. And that was all there, and sea. And so that holidays, we decided, because we had our way to earn an income anyways online with the laptops, that we wanted to move to Costa Rica. We decided it that holidays, but not specifically to live there, not specifically living in Dominical, because we thought, you know, Costa Rica is so much bigger. There's so much more to explore. We just had a 2 weeks holidays there, more or less on the same location. So this is what we did. And this is my first tip. That was in the month of May. So we decided to come back in the month of August. That was the big school holidays of the kids, to have 4 weeks, have a 4x4, so 4-wheel drive rental car, and explore the country as much as we can, to pick our spot, to plant our flag, and looking for everything that is necessary for our family. So where you want to live, you know, where to live in Costa Rica is basically depending on your family needs, right? So if you have little kids in baby age, you do not have to worry so much yet about which schools you want to choose for your children. Or when you are older, or when you have like a chronic disease, it's not, you know, it's important for you that you live near a hospital, right? So you have to take a look and focus and make a list of your family's needs. Now, for us personally, it was a good international school where our two growing up kids in different ages, at that time 7 and 13, could be both together and learn Spanish and English. So it had to be bilingual, international. We wanted to see, and we wanted jungle, right? So, and we are a very healthy family, so really not needed to live in a more crowded area of Costa Rica where hospitals are like at the corner of the street, but just a piece of land that we would like. So that was basically a very open-minded and needs for our family. So we went back in August, 4 weeks, like I said, and we just worked off our list. So we explored, we just used Airbnb. I always pronounce it weird. I'm from Holland, remember, my English is not really perfect. Airbnb is the perfect way to look around in Costa Rica. And by the way, if you never used Airbnb, in the description of my video, you will see a direct link that's giving you a discount. Also, when you have used our Airbnb, it's giving you this discount on your next booking if you use Airbnb with my link. Airbnb helped us to explore Costa Rica. So we just booked while we were here. It was not high season in December and January. It's not a good thing to just be laid back and book an Airbnb accommodation to check out a specific area 3 days in advance. It is more or less the more low season, April, May, where you can do that, preventing that things are overbooked, right? So this was the month of May that we were in Costa Rica. The first time, and the second time August, which is both low season, more or less low season. High season is January and December. That's not a good time to explore without having huge costs, and to explore without hearing, no, we're fully booked all the time. So I recommend you to explore for a couple of weeks in low season. And that's what we did. So we just used Airbnb, and sometimes just like this. So we landed in San Jose, and we just took a pen and we took the map, and we just thought, okay, what can we do in a month? And in the south, it would be very, very wet. So the roads would be bad. It would take us a long time to explore there. So we thought we're gonna to explore a specific area. That would be like in the circle of Monteverde, the peninsula, the Nicoya, and just basically within that circle, take the ferry and just explore from there, and then going up to Tamarindo, and just see around international schools how the area looked like for people to move in as expats, right? Because as you might know, it is my intention to serve you if you are thinking about living abroad with children in Costa Rica, like we were that time that you find your information here. So we were looking to create our life in Costa Rica with our children. We found a school in Santa Teresa, near Santa Teresa. So one of the third accommodation that we find, first we went to Cabuya. So from San Jose, we took the ferry and we went on the peninsula to Cabuya. And from there, you know, we had an Airbnb, but the beaches were, for example, there were surf beaches, but the beaches had very, very sharp rocks. And, you know, with growing up kids, I didn't want them to be hurt, you know. So those were really sharp, rocky rock beaches. It was epically beautiful there, but it was not so much to do. It was not a school, not an international school. And so that was not fit for us. And then we moved up from Cabuya on that peninsula, the Nicoya, and we stranded in Santa Teresa. That's like a backpacker surfing village near the ocean. And there we found a very nice accommodation where we stayed for about a week, and we surfed and we explored. And where we heard that there were two schools there, two international schools, the Hermosa Valley School, and near Cobano, there was like 20 minutes drive from Santa Teresa. There was a school named Futuro Verde. So what we did was just, you know, we connected the school. We just stepped in our car and we drove through the schools around the time that there would be people. So not on a weekend, just on school days. And we just went in and we just asked if there was someone who could, you know, have a word with us. And this is what I recommend you to do. Just go ahead without making an appointment, but just go out of the blue and take a look at what's your first impression. And that way we managed to have on both schools our kids, you know, being able to attend for half a day. So that was a great factor for us, because to explore, a great way to explore how the schools were. So because our family life has to be built around the schools of our kids, right? because if you're an expat, if you want to be an expat and living in Costa Rica, you have kids, you need to find a fit school. So if your kids are small, there's way more choice in primary schools. So all kids in the age up to 5, it's super easy. There are more primary schools, more baby kindergartens spread over Costa Rica. But for the, you know, when it becomes seriously and you do not want to be a homeschool mom like myself, I must not think about it. I'm not fit for it. Because I would love to work my online business while my kids are at school, but you might be different, so that's all cool. You want to explore a good international school. So we found out that one of those 2 schools was perfect for our kids. That was the Futura Verde school. And from there, we just found out more about the area. So how is it for a living? How easy is it to find a rental to get started with? We were not planning to buy property. We just wanted to be long-term rentees. So what we did, and this is like my best recommendation, is you should connect with local community social media groups. So go to Facebook, and for example, type in what's on Santa Teresa, right? That's a community Facebook group. Or if you're near Tamarindo or wherever you are in Costa Rica exploring, I'm wobbling the table. I recommend you to connect with the community and start talking with people, right? Go to the local best, most crowded lunchroom and have conversations with people. Have an open mind, you know. Go eat and drink in places and ask your host of your Airbnb, you know, things about how is life here? How is it possible? What are the prices for rental? You know, what do I need? And this is just basically how we found out where we wanted to live. We got connected with someone who helped us the first to find a rental a little bit long term, so off the side of Airbnb. And so before we finally left the Netherlands, we already had a temporary house waiting for us. And we decided, so we have our house waiting, we can go in there and live there for 1 to several months, and then we can take it from there. And we came in low season. So I always recommend you to come in low season, whether it's for the first time or whether it's when you totally, you know, come with your family and your bags and your stuff, because high season is just super expensive and you do not have the position to bargain on prices and stuff because everything is fully packed. So that's what we did. Talking to people, connecting with the community groups. There are like hundreds on Facebook, and just say hi, you know, introduce yourself. We're a family and we're looking for XYZ. Do you have any ideas? This is what we did. And that way we found this house, for example, and we live here now for almost 8 months. It's a long-term rental and it's perfect for us. And we never would be able to find it if we were not saying hi in a community group here in town. Because the owner of this house said, hey, come over and let's have a chat. This house I just built and you're going to be the first rentees. So anything is possible as long as you put yourself out there and have an open mind. So the recommendation is basically get around, have your list of family priorities and start exploring and write. I had a book, and in that book I wrote down addresses and names of people and phone numbers and just start taking it from there and start Googling things. And, you know, even if you cannot find a long-term rental from a person to get started living as an expat with your kids, then just make your first month of accommodation of 2 months full with Airbnb. Just book ahead for, I would not do longer than 6 weeks, especially when it's low season, but just book several different locations, because you never know for sure if it's really as nice as you see it on the website. But then you know that you have for sure accommodation and take it from there, right? So as soon as you're at the spot, you will figure out where to live in Costa Rica. You can always say, you know what, we're gonna drive around and we're gonna see what's in that area. We're gonna see in that area. And to be honest, what happened to us is that we basically made the decision to live here at the Peninsula de Nicoya right away, like within the first 2 weeks. Yes, we went up to Tamarindo, but we didn't like it so much. So we thought, you know what, the heck? it's super raining in the south, we can always move later on when we already live here in Costa Rica. So what about if we just decide to live here right near the fine, nice Futuro Verde school that we really, really like? It's built right in the jungle. It has a lot of eco education, and especially for our youngest who has dyslexia and doesn't speak English nor Spanish, they were so open to help him and to support him. Small classes. So that's what we did. We just decided with our heart and didn't make it so complicated. You don't have to make a life decision where you want to live for the rest of your life in Costa Rica. Just go out there, find accommodation or like a circle where there is everything that your family needs. And then just go there, have like some accommodation waiting for the first period. So you're not like moving around and dragging your kids and your stuff around in the first week already. And then start talking to people and take it from there. And I assure you that you will find your place. And you might even figure out that you don't want to live in Costa Rica, or that it's totally for you. So that is how we found out where to live in Costa Rica. And I gonna tell you, I never regret it to the day of today that we took the leap. So if you are following me on my channel, thank you so much. Subscribe to my channel. And I am looking forward to inspire you with more advice. Scroll my channel, watch all the other videos, hit the bell icon to get a notification when I upload a new video. So yeah, and feel free to place a reply or comment below. My pleasure to answer your questions. And in the description, you'll find my discount link for Airbnb and for Uber if you want to get from San Jose to your accommodation. And that's the way we did it. So it doesn't have to be complicated. Yeah, have your family needs on the list and take it from there. Bye for now. This was Muriel from Costa Rica. Bye-bye.